again.
It is January, Brian.
January, Stephen.
It is the end of January. Well, as this goes out.
End of January.
I'm time-stamping this. That's probably not the right thing to do with podcasts, but still, you could be listening any time. When we're recording this, it's January.
We're recording this in January.
Brian seems to just be saying everything I'm saying.
That's how it works. That's a good conversation, isn't it? One person says loads of stuff, and then the second person just repeats it.
That's probably how it goes. Yes, I had a nice Christmas and New Year. What about yourself?
So far away. It's far long ago, I can't even remember.
I know, I don't even want to say Happy New Year to everybody out there because that's the wrong thing to do. There's very, very strict rules on when you can say. There
is. I saw the 16th.
What, the date?
The date, the 16th. I don't know whether it was somebody being funny or it was a meme or whatever. It was like the 16th of January. That's your hard cut off for saying Happy New Year to somebody.
Right, okay. That sounds like a very arbitrary. the 16th. Okay, well, we are past the 16th.
We'll buy that.
But yeah, we won't be saying Happy New Year. So we hope you had a nice time over Christmas. We hope you had a nice time New Year, and we hope, like us, you are hitting the ground running. Or getting off to a running start. Yeah, I got it wrong. We've got a campaign going called Running Start, and I misnamed it there. But yes, I hope you are getting off to a running start like we are here at Class for Kids. It really is that way. I mean, I am stowed already, all good stuff, but I'm planning. Today I've been planning for September.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, what about your space?
It's been busy. So we were so busy the last 3, 4, 5 months of the year that I've just this week ticked off the last of the projects that I was working off before Christmas.
It was an insane amount. It really was.
Yeah.
It was like a good 2-3 months of just editing as well.
Yeah.
Come the end of it, it was loads. I mean, so same again this year.
Double it. That's what I say.
Double it, triple it. Yeah, we'll just work ourselves into an early grave.
That's it.
Well, it's a good podcast for the first of the year. And it's a bit of an interesting one because we've just finished, or it's just went out. You can still get access to it on demand, I believe, soon through the website. I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
Very interesting webinar, online event, as I'm trying to rename them these days because I don't like the term webinars, right?
It's too corporate.
It's too corporate.
We're not corporate.
No, we do online events.
Exactly.
We don't do webinars. We have just finished an online event with Rue Grant and with Libby Langley. Libby Langley worked with in the past. She's a business expert and mentor. Rue is an expert in all things sort of social and Instagram. We paired them both together to run an online event that was about empowering businesses at the start of the year to get all their eggs in baskets, all their bricks in houses, and
get the roof on.
Yeah, because the marketing was the roof. You'd need to understand. You need to go and watch the online event.
Go and sign up for the online event.
Please do.
And then come back and listen to the rest of this
Pause
podcast.
this bit, right?
Yep.
And we'll just wait a minute, right? Take it back yet.
What an online event that was.
Whoa, see, you now know what I'm talking about, so I'm glad that you experienced it. But you know what? We didn't just do an online event with them.
We did not.
We don't do that. We don't just bring people in and do one thing. Brian recorded a podcast with them. And I was in that podcast, and I think we should go and listen to it.
I think we should.
Here it goes. Enjoy. You may recognise these guys from the online event if you attended that Class for Kids put on, and it was fantastic. Lots of good learnings from it. But now we just want to find out a little bit more about both of you. Libby, as we said before, you've already been in the podcast. We know a little bit about you. Don't know as much about you, Rue. Other than we did cross paths in a previous workplace.
We did. I love that you're doing that for full disclosure.
Yeah, full disclosure.
We already know each other a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. In case anybody goes searching and they're like, they two know each other.
I know everyone in this office almost. That's
Really?
the weirdest thing. Yeah, so like Lisa, I know. Caitlin, I know.
Who else? Me?
You.
Who else?
That's three's everyone.
She knows 3. That's everyone in the office. Okay, that's fine.
It's a lot. It's quite a lot.
Rue, give us a little slice of your company, which is called Pure Gallus, which if you're not Glaswegian, basically means really excellent. Yeah,
kind of cheeky, isn't it? It's kind of
cheeky.
like, it's usually a term that would be used for a person.
Can we hear in a sentence?
I was like, that bartender was pure Gallus. He handed me his number with my cocktail. It's Gallus.
Oh, really? Is that,
I don't know, is that a good thing though?
I know.
Well, yeah, we use
made
Gallus.
You made that sound like it's not such a good thing.
Yeah,
But I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. Yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's like cheeky, confident.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more confident.
Do you know what I mean?
You could also say like, it could be good, and that's the thing. It could be like, oh, he's pure Gallus, or you could go, he's pure Gallus.
Which means he's like
sleazy.
Yeah.
Well,
or
not
just
sleazy.
overly confident.
Yeah, more like they're maybe more confident they should be potentially sometimes
Yeah.
for Gallus. But in my the way I've used it, it's more
Which
just
is
like
not how you are.
no,
You're the
obviously.
No, she's
appropriate
very,
level of
kind of,
confidence.
yeah, you're not, yeah. You're
I'm not out
you're
there
very
at all.
quiet. You're a very quiet person.
Very quiet, always have been. Not.
And Libby, give us a little bit about yourself again. Obviously, it's a bit of a cap up. And Libby Langley.
Yep.
The first time we spoke, it's just, to me, it's a superhero name.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, it's totally like there is an alter ego in there somewhere. So we'll maybe address that later in the
It's
podcast.
definitely a pants over tights name.
Yeah, definitely, isn't
I
it?
think it is a pants over tights name. Yeah.
So let other people know what you do.
Okay. So despite the fact that I didn't remember that I had to speak,
Yeah.
I'm a podcaster.
She is a podcaster.
I have a podcast.
Has her own podcast. Give it a plug.
I do. It's called Life in Business, and it's about business owners. It's for business owners who want to grow without hustling. I'm very anti-hustle. Also written a book, so I'm a published author, and day to day I'm a business coach.
Again, ever felt like the dumbest person in the room? So that's how I'm feeling right now, clearly.
Aw.
We started working with you last year after we met you at ICAP. ICAP, you won't be aware, it's a Institute of Children's Activity Providers event.
Okay.
But since then, right, you've been on other stages, presenting other presentations, doing keynote speeches. Who was caught stealing your ideas?
Well, I mean, that's the spin I've put on it.
Well,
but,
let's keep that spin going, because I think you're going to be surprised as well.
Stephen Bartlett.
Cheeky
Yeah,
bism.
there is. I spoke at an event, a franchise, the British Franchise Association event, in 2024, and was one of the keynotes. And Stephen Bartlett was on stage directly after me, and there's a fantastic video that my husband took of me on stage, Stephen Bartlett on his phone, but standing watching me. He looks up. I say something. He goes back to his phone as if he's making a note.
Taking notes.
Although I just
taking
like to say,
notes.
only the good things he's learned from me, not all the bad stuff.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, absolutely. That's the caveat. As at time of broadcast.
Yes. Nothing to do with me.
No, but that's still, I mean, that's a compliment, isn't it? That's the guy that's meant to be ahead of all businesses, sitting clearly taking notes. From
Yeah,
you.
and certainly the early days of his stuff was great. You
Yeah.
know, people could learn lots from it for sure.
I was never
so.
sure about the constant hat wearing though in his content. Do you remember he used to always wear a hat? Yes.
I only have really, it's been the last 2 years, I've obviously known about Diary of a CEO.
Aye.
I'm kind of dipping in and out a little bit. It's not my massive forte.
A sort of brim
Do you think you can tell a lot
hipster hat.
about a person by the kind of hats that they wear then?
I love the way this is
Probably.
going. Okay,
Probably.
so
I think so.
let's have an example of that. What could that be? Like if I came in with a Stetson.
Yeah, I think you'd be really super confident in your own abilities.
Okay, cool.
I'd say.
Maybe Gallus in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Maybe Gallus in the wrong way. Maybe you would be sliding your phone number to innocent women at bars.
it would be in the hat.
Yeah, you would.
I would just
put it in
be
your hat.
there you go, ma'am. I'll leave that with you.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a beret?
Oh, then you're
Artsy.
fabulously creative. Yeah.
Okay.
You could always feel comfortable with a man in a beret walking you home at night.
Really? That's the quote we're going to take away from this. Again, this is not going the way I thought it would, but it's going a good way. What about okay, last hat? A sou'wester, do you know what that is?
Oh, what?
A sou'wester.
Prepared, really well prepared for
Okay.
every
You know what it is?
I have
eventuality.
no idea what that is.
So
Do you know
it's
what
like,
sou'wester
it's
is?
almost like
No.
American. Imagine American fire helmets, but it's
Well, it's yellow, but
Yeah.
it's like
It goes down over your
it's like
back.
it's kind of like a big
It's a rain
sun
hat.
hat.
oh
No, it's
we said
no,
rain
no,
and sun.
A sun looks like a big sun hat.
Yes.
but is made of yellow, thick,
Yeah.
waterproof
Material.
material, and you
kinda
have the
just-
coats to match.
We'll need to get you a sou'wester.
You
No.
imagine
Like I imagine like an old lady with like
No.
a like
fishermen or
Okay.
Fishermen.
lighthouse.
like a fisherman.
Fishermen.
Like,
Lighthouse
sou'wester.
keepers.
Yeah.
They would have
Okay.
sou'westers.
I'm with
Yeah.
you.
That's
I'm
So
with
be
you.
prepared for every eventuality if you turn
That
up in a
makes sense.
sou'wester.
So we've
Yeah.
done hats.
We're covering the
Now,
important things
now we're
today.
going back onto you for a second. I know
I do like
something. I know
hats.
something about you that you don't know. I know, and I think it's true anyway. Is that
It probably is true.
It involves the circus.
Yeah.
So you've got a background in the circus.
Yeah.
Right. We need to dig into that and explore that
Yeah.
bit. But we've got a number of circus schools on ClassForKids on the books.
One of my clients is
Yep.
My
one of your
people.
clients is, in fact, one of your clients is one of the same people that we've talked to in the past a lot as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a big. So how did you do it? Right. Where did you do it?
Uh-huh.
Can you still do it? Talk on that for a bit.
Okay, so my main skill in the circus was as a stilt walker and a stilt acrobat.
Okay.
So I did paired acro with another stilt walker. I started doing it when I moved to. So I was a dancer, and then I moved to Glasgow, and I don't even know how I bumped into this guy who owned a circus company.
Was he wearing a...
What kind of hat was he wearing?
It was a tiny little bowler hat.
Probably
And
wouldn't
was
have
he
been a
driving a
very-
big car with the wheels went...
Yeah, and his nose, with his big red nose. That went,
I know he was a sort of half French guy, and he was like, "Oh, if you used to dance, like you probably have good balance." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did ballet when I was younger. I've got pretty good balance." And I was like, "Do you want to come to this space and like have a go at walking on stilts?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. That's like super niche. I'll have a go at that." And I was like really weirdly naturally good at it. Like I
Okay.
literally just stood up and started
You're
walking.
quite tall. No, you are
Pretty
tall.
tall, 5'8".
5'8", okay. It's the
5'8".
same as me, but
Medium
that's
tall.
small for a man.
Yeah,
for a lady.
we are the universal average heighted
really?
person.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
all
universally
furniture is made
average,
for
thank
us.
you.
is that right?
Yeah, because
I'm
like
only
5'8" is
5'1",
like right in the
so-
middle.
Okay.
Yeah, your
That's why my feet never touch the floor.
kitchen units like this. Yeah.
I meant when I was sitting down, but
All right, okay.
not just that I'm on like a...
It's not a
Invisible
ghost.
I'm sitting between a circus performer and a ghost.
Yeah. That's the soundbite for this episode. Yeah, so I started doing that. So then I started, it was like, oh, cool. You should start doing work with us. So it was mostly corporate circus, which sounds like a made up thing. But you know, if you're going to like corporate events, like I performed at things like
Fire breathers and stuff.
oh yeah, all
and-
those kind of
okay.
people. But I was doing stilts, so I'd be big stilt characters and did a lot of character work, as you can probably imagine. And it would be, you know, X amount to turn up to, you know, the Royal Bank of Scotland's Christmas party that was X themed in a appropriate costume
Okay.
and kick about.
So was it...
Super fun.
So this Frenchman approaches you.
Half French,
Half
half
French.
Irish.
I was going to try and do the accent. I'm going to try and do that one.
No,
No.
it was mostly Irish.
Where did you go? Like, was it... Is there a
So
school?
it wasn't like tour. So they had a space for their sort of professional troupe.
Yeah.
And you'd go and like train and do stuff together. So
Okay.
and it was quite fun because you'd quite often go out and do jobs together. So it was quite cool when you did training and stuff together that you could like come up with little bits. Like if there was like a juggler, they'd like, you know, have like a word and you could like take part in their routine. Like they'd
Right.
pretend they're going to drop the ball, but actually they're pitching it to you to like bat back at them or whatever. So you could do lots of fun stuff like that. It was great fun. And then actually my first big marketing job was for a circus company after that.
What were they called?
They were Circus Art Scotland, so they were the Scottish sort of collective. And I was like marketing and business development manager for them.
Imagine
few
their
years.
offices.
It's a bit quirky.
Well, yeah.
It's a little quirky.
People
You
in
think it
uni-
would have to be, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, 'cause
Otherwise...
pretty much everyone there were
Yeah.
at least an ex-circus performer.
Yeah.
Can you can you go a unicycle?
Yeah, but not. Well, I used to be able to. I couldn't tell if I could anymore. I can't juggle. Please don't ask me to
We
juggle. I'm
could.
not a juggler.
Oh, we've got
I
jumping
can't.
balls, right?
Can't juggle.
You can see them. We've also got we've got a unicycle as well, but we won't
Don't test me.
test you up. I'm breaking the set, Brian. We're all good.
Saws.
Okay, that's very interesting, isn't it? It's a bit
Yeah.
unique. And I thought that it's not like you were part of some big circus school, like a Showtime circus or like anything like that.
No.
So to you, Libby,
I've never been in the circus.
have you been to
you
the
sure?
circus?
Do you know something I don't? I saw you in the circus once. No, I mean, life is a bit of a circus, but
Exactly.
no. Have I ever been to a circus?
Yeah, that was
I
just
mean,
a
I've
kind
seen
of throwaway
Cirque
question.
du Soleil a few times.
Oh, that's more than
yeah.
a circus, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
great. What, if any, right, when you were a kid, what classes did you do? Kids classes, activities, dancing, anything?
Oh, dancing. Yeah, I did ballet tap, stage,
Okay.
modern. I know they're not called that anymore, are they?
know.
Gymnastics, swimming, life saving,
Right, okay.
all of them.
So
Piano.
basically, every activity that ClassForKids supports,
Yeah.
you were in them. And were you... It sounds like you might not have been committed to all these.
I pulled the face at the piano.
Right,
'cause
okay.
I never. The practicing. I think it's I think all these things have kind of fed into the way I support people now.
Yeah.
Because I just remember like being quite unhappy with a lot of the things that I did in the first few decades of my life. And like, you know, I don't remember ever making the choice and saying, I want to learn how to play the piano. Maybe I was involved in the decision. I don't know.
Okay.
But, and just really hating the practicing, and my mum like just getting so angry with me. And it's like, why didn't I just stop doing it?
Yeah.
You know, why I know it's to make you a better person and all this stuff, but there's so many things like that I just didn't like doing.
We've got the very same. My youngest has just quit piano lessons, and he's been doing them for a year, and he's kind of like, he's been telling me that he's not enjoying them.
Yeah.
I kind of telling his mum as well, but she's the one that's pushed for it a bit. Don't get me into trouble for listening to this. But she's kind of pushed him a bit into it, and I've been kind of like, he's not interested in this, you know. Just let's pull him out of it.
I don't know if they used to. I mean, I used to go to Brownies as well, and then guides, and did loads of stuff. And I think a lot of it was obviously, as parents still do these days, is just to keep your kids entertained, right? So they're out doing something constructive and productive and all of this. But I liked dancing.
Yep.
I liked the gym. I really did enjoy that. The school that I went to actually still exists, and
Yay!
Probably a client of yours. And this is a long time ago.
Okay.
And the my husband's kids, they all went through the same school as me, which is funny. But yeah, my teacher, she must have only been in her 20s or something when she started teaching me in this little old Jehovah's Witness hall in the back room of that we used to. Now they have this amazing purpose-built school and do big shows and all of that.
So you done that for years?
I guess until I went to secondary school, so I guess until I was 11 or so. And
so that's the retention fall off for everything, really. It's kind of like you talk to any football clubs and academies, and even if they've got boys that they've identified as being really good, and they're like, earmark them, and you hear like, Rangers have got like or Celtic or whoever, or any other English team. I'm not a football guy. Everybody listening to this knows this. I have no idea about football, barely know the shape of a football, but if they're identified as going to be successful, they can quite often still just go awry, because the minute they get into high school, it's like girls.
Yeah, I don't know what changes actually at that age. I suppose.
Puberty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you just have
for real. Yeah,
you knock about with your friends, and maybe that structure doesn't suit
when
as
you
much.
find yourself in high school, don't you? Or so they say. And
oh God, no! You lose yourself in high school, and then you find yourself after high school.
I think
so.
I feel like you know yourself as a kid.
I definitely found my tribe in high school, as they say. I can't believe I've said that term. But I found the people I know.
Not those first 3 years. Primary school I loved. But then we had 3 years at one school, and then the next 2 years, and then the sixth form were at another school. So I kind of went to three schools through, and those first 3 years in that middle school were really miserable. Right. I think, and I think I was probably bullied. When you look back and you see things differently. So what you say about finding yourself at school, I think it was
later on.
Yeah, that was just horrible, because I knew I was in primary school, because it was a tiny school of like 50 kids,
Right.
Yeah. And then you go to this bigger school, and it's just
Well, I'm doing my eldest's about to go to high school next year, and it's going to be a bit of a study, I think, for me, just to he's just basically a lab rat for a bit.
So scary.
Yeah.
To just see exactly that, like he's full of love for life just now. Super creative kid, like never known anybody that can put his hand to it, and so creative. But I just wonder how that'll go when he goes in.
I think it's different now, though. I mean, it's a while since you and I were at school.
It is a little bit of time. Yeah.
But as Holden's in the room, I don't think anybody looked out for like needs that people had, and this will be so relevant to the people listening to this, that they will be trained to look out for things, because like I'm autistic ADHD, and it wasn't until in my 40s that this was even a thing and diagnosed and all of that, and that probably is why some things were so difficult, whereas now at schools, like your kids, they're looking out for this stuff, and people, your ClassForKids clients, in the classes that they run, they will know what to look out for, and they will have measures in place, whereas we were just left to fend for ourselves.
In fact, not like excuse me, not shameless product plug, but specifically in the back end of the system, there is areas for exactly that.
Yeah.
If you're, and that's helpful. My eldest got autism, and when he's doing classes, he tends to. We've tried everything with him over the years, like everything. gymnastics, football, not interested in physical activity, but you give him an art and crafts club, he's there every time and desperate to go. But when you're registering for it and things, they use Class4Kids. It's just about putting in like obviously you leave your contact details and all that in case you're there, but just a little summary of kind of triggers and things like that, that can help immeasurably.
Oh God, it just wouldn't have been.
Yes, it's there. But then going into school, that's tenfold. There is documents that are we've got what was it called, an enhanced transition, where we're having to meet 2 or 3 times before the high school with his teachers, with his year teacher and things. He doesn't know what's going on because in his mind he's he's extremely verbal and you wouldn't really know. He's just kind of
same.
Yeah,
it's
he's very like you actually.
Well, he's going to do well in life.
He'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, but it is it's funny really, and I think that the shaping of you as you go through life is a lot down to your experience. But the thing at school, which is why these extracurricular clubs are so good, because at school really for me certainly it was, if you're doing well academically then fine, you're fine. It's like nobody cares what's happening inside. But it's often in clubs and external things where things get spotted, I think, because they're perhaps there for enjoyment and development rather than just the academic box.
You just kind of open my eyes to that as well, because report cards are all does good at math. Well, particularly not so much now, but ours, I don't know about yours, very much just cutthroat. They were good at maths, they were good at English and things, but what was going on in their mind?
Shut up, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We were just talking
about that. And we all got that, didn't we?
But that was seen, you don't shut up was seen as a negative, whereas it would be really, let's enhance this to enable them to verbalise what they know and their opinion on things.
And like my brother has autism, and he swings wildly between being silent and, oh my God, please stop speaking. And there's almost nothing in between. So if you're talking about something he's not interested in, nothing. You move on to computer programming, the stuff that he knows about, the stuff that he likes. He's off like a train. So his reports would often be like, oh, he's really quiet and he doesn't contribute and and you'd be like, it's because you're not interested in him.
Yeah.
He's
completely.
Bored.
That's my boy. He gets very bored and kind of he'll go, and he's not been flippant about it, but like, it's too easy. Some of the things are too easy that they're talking about. His thought pattern's way beyond any of that. But you kind of capture that in
and he's thinking about 63 other things as well.
Of course. He's thinking
simultaneously.
He's thinking about the sun exploding in 6 billion years. No
all
joke.
The time. All the time.
We're solving, or we're aiding all the grievances of the world here.
That's it.
So we'll wrap up quickly. Can I ask you guys to let us know how people can get in touch with you about your services, so you can give a bit of a call to action and see if anybody wants to. We'll also put it in the comment sections. Not the comment sections, I'm talking mince. We'll also put it in the description. Thank you, Brian, off camera. That's his second name, off camera, Brian.
It's because you were thinking about the sun exploding.
That's it.
Still thinking about it, and I put that in my head. Guys, I'm really sorry out there if I freaked you out, but the sun's good. We're good for a while. We'll see the summer. You go first.
If you want to learn more about Instagram, the best place to find me, unsurprisingly, is Instagram at Pure Gallus Social.
Excellent. And Libby?
I am Libby Langley, so you can go to libbylangley.com or Instagram at Libby Langley, LinkedIn, I'm Libby Langley. My podcast is called Life in Business on any podcast platform, and my book is also called Life in Business, which is on Amazon.
From the superhero Libby Langley and the circus clown.
I was a clown, don't worry about it.
Rue Grant, thank you very much, and we'll thank you for coming along.
Thanks for having us.
We'll have you again soon, hopefully.
Yeah, see you soon.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Lovely podcast. What do you think of that?
Very lovely podcast. It was coming straight out of the online event. It was really nice to see them. You get to see them as their business persona, their business minds, how they've set themselves up as really successful business people, and then to come in on the flip side of that coin and see their personalities shine through and have a bit of a laugh with them and see the more kind of like human elements of the personalities. It was really nice for us to get that experience all in the one kind of like go.
It was all in the one, and for those that have maybe seen both, they did happen just concurrently straight after each other. I think the only thing I did was change my top to try and smoke and mirrors it, but obviously that didn't work, especially with Brian giving away.
I know, sorry guys.
That's all right. No, I totally agree with you. I think that it was a business chat on the online event, and what we just heard there was just shooting the breeze, shall we say, with two very successful female entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And really nice personalities as well, to touch on that. They know their stuff when it comes to building businesses, when it comes to social media, when it comes to helping businesses grow, but they're just nice to sit down and talk to.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, more power to them. They've done amazingly well just in their own kind of spaces and lanes. They'd never met until that day.
Yeah.
We knew we'd kind of crafted the topic, and they were steered on everything that we were going to be talking about, but it literally did. I mean, that old finishing your sentences, there was a bit of that going on. There was things that I was actually tasked with asking Rue about, that I was then going, oh, and actually this, you've just answered this. So yeah, it shows like the world of business. We are in the kids activity business. The online event, not the podcast, applies to pretty much every business. You know, it's not limited to our industry.
Absolutely not. And it shows just how much of an opportunity there is for collaboration everywhere you look, because these two people who had never met, their businesses kind of intertwined, but they're also quite separate. But they came together, had a really nice matchup on the online event, had a really nice matchup on the podcast, and it was just one of those things, like, if you look for collaboration, you'll find it.
Absolutely. I think that's a good way to wrap this, eh? And with Rebecca still gone, are we going to one?
Still going. 1, 2, 3. Is it one? Oh, Daddy. 1.
Mm-hmm.
1,
2,
3.
Bye. He doesn't say bye.